Hello, traders. Good to see y'all on this Sunday evening. And I'm not going to spend too much time live. I have been working past 2 days, with Chainlink, my graphics guy, on the Halloween stream tomorrow. So you don't want to miss tomorrow. If you're going to miss today, okay, great. But if you miss tomorrow, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, tomorrow is going to be something no one's ever done what I'm doing. Like, no one. Like, in the world of it, it's live streaming. So it'll be fun to see everything converge. It won't be like quite to the level of the spaceship Star Wars stream, but in that ballpark, in that category of, wow, this is unique and original and new and different. Okay, so, but we're just looking at Bitcoin on a Sunday that is, possibly peaked out twice. One time no one knows, maybe second time everyone knows, but no follow through yet. No selling pressures come in, but it's hard to argue if we're just looking isolated right here, where you see a high, then you see a slightly higher high, and you see, well, I mean, what is this? Like, it's there. I'm just identifying it. I don't know what's going to play out. It hasn't really played out at all yet, but you are showing this. And again, it's on the MACD histogram too. It's like a high on price, a sell-off, and then a very clear, discernible attempted rally. And then on the attempted rally, about the same levels in price, you have substantially lower levels on the momentum, which is again implying a reversal. What's up, Goog? Do you know Egg? Y'all should go on a friend date. Egg, Goog, Boog. Thank you, dude. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. Love the sport and members of this community that make it so special. All right. Y'all are the motivation for why I put in all the work I do, especially for tomorrow. Wow. So there you have it. If the TA is respected in this isolated, area, then you'd think reversal. And if it reverses, it's really not a big deal. I think at this point, if it can just make a higher low than these previous lows from the 21st and 13th, I think you'll be all right. You break the supply line, you've been making higher lows. Technically, if you just put in another higher low on a bad macro day, you stay above the 200 moving average, 19,550, everything's okay. I think right now you're just still slightly above that minor breakout level around 20,350, 20,400. You can see just so many times it's been resistance. Well, you held it and you're still above it, so that's good. I'm thinking like the range, the major range between 18,650, 22,572. So yeah, a pullback. Let's see how well this bearish divergence performs. Remember, XRP didn't perform very well when it was exactly the same on the 4 hour, right? So that's what you got going on the 4 hour. The daily, nothing. There's no bearish edge. In fact, it'd be bullish convergence technically, where you make a high, then you make the higher high with higher levels on the oscillators. Whoops. I don't know what happened. Weird. It's probably gonna messing with all the other stuff. Let me fix that. Give me a sec. Should be good now. There we go. Thanks for that. All right, we're good. All right, so that's it. I mean, daily's okay. Daily's fine. If you pull back here, it's probably because the 4 hour. Well, imagine a back test of 19,891 off the 4 hour bearish divergence. Man, that'd be perfect. A back test, you hold it, you pivot. The bearish divergence 4 hour doesn't perform that great, but it does. And then you pivot and you rally off that. I mean, that'd be wonderful, right? Since you broke back above the key inflection point from 2017, you have not formally regarded it as support yet. So maybe the 4 hour bearish divergence is what would get us there. Just thinking out loud, right? I mean, these are just things that are occurring right now. Let us look at the weekly, because that's why we're here right now, right? The weekly this candle 7-day candle will close in 48 minutes. And it will be the highest weekly candle close we've seen since September 5th. Nice. And we will certainly be above the key of key levels. And it's coming off of one failed attempt, possibly a second failed attempt by sellers. The sellers have tried twice. You get it? Let me just... I have it more clearly painted here on the... Oops. On my just Coinbase chart. As you can see right there on the weekly, the zone of inflection, buyers are defending it not once but twice. So closing above that level after staying below it for the greater part of 5 weeks is, I believe, tremendous. I think it's a very, very good thing. Now, tomorrow, next week, of course, bearish engulfing candle, collapse, crash. I got it, man. But until that happens, this is interesting. This is good because we know the order book can get really thin above this area because straight up and straight down. I mean, and if not straight up, straight down, then fine. A run straight up to 24 to 25K. Just got to wonder. And really, you're still in the bearish control zone here, still at 39. So it'd be nice to get to neutral above 40, but it hasn't happened yet. Positive momentum is building, so you're okay there. We got a monthly candle close soon too, right? Let's go to the monthly. How's that looking? Monthly's nothing really special. The only thing that maybe is, if you're just going to talk about something, as of last month, what happened? It was a confirmed bearish breakdown. In fact, it was the lowest monthly candle close since October of 2020. That's a confirmed bearish breakdown with a candle close, but that's just not enough. Right? Confirmed candle close below the 2017 level. But guess what? This month, there was no follow through. There was no bearish back test. It was only invalidated. The bearish breakdown last month with a candle close confirmation is now invalid. It is. It's just not valid anymore. And that's a great thing because it was doomed. It was like, oh my God, this is one of the worst things you could ever do, having a bearish breakdown below a level that's the last level until 14K. Okay, so now you're technically engulfing. You're covering the previous candle. Another decent thing besides breaking above 2017's high is this. Your RSI is very interesting. I know, I get it, right? But look, you have one time in April 2021, October 2021, March 2022. I remember we were looking at it, and that was when things were starting to get maybe interesting and then really fishy on the failure. And now you're out. You've broken that supply line on the RSI. It's a breakout. Currently sitting at 43, so you're not in the bearish control zone. You never got into it, which is good. But you did recently hit your all-time lows on your relative strength index on Bitcoin. I'm talking about going all the way back to its genesis. So interesting, right? Just reporting what's occurring right now that could change tomorrow, the next week, the next month. But at this time, in 1 day, 1 hour, you will have it will be confirmed that the bearish breakdown that was confirmed with a candle close last month is invalid. Not bad. And you will be covering the previous candle, which is not really that crazy. I mean, bullish engulfing candle. You want a huge green candle. You want to look at this candle back from October 2020. That's the engulfing candle I'm looking for, man. Big green candle. Look at this one. Oh yeah, July 2020, big green candle. Even April 2020, not bad green bullish engulfing candle, man. But then at the same time, you get candle like here. It was engulfing in February 2019, the bullish Gartley. Let's go. But it wasn't really that significant. Didn't seem like that big of a deal. Yeah, sure, green candle after all the selling. You'd have to zoom into less significant timescales to see really how good things might have looked at the time for a potential reversal. So there you have it, man. That's your Bitcoin analysis. 4 hour, daily, weekly, monthly. Yeah. Yeah, these market conditions are very precarious. They're not good. In the blink of an eye, things can change. What's happened, I don't know, in the last couple of weeks is like a glimmer of hope has emerged on the futures, on the index funds a little bit. but we just aren't quite there where, I mean, like, dude, it's hard calling bottoms, but it's kind of fun trying to identify bottoms because the way they look before they play out, but the way they look before they play out also, you've seen it many times where it doesn't play out that way and you just continue to dump later. So let's go to Ethereum, knock out these bigger cryptos, and then we'll move to the futures. You know, Ethereum, wow, approaching oversold territory here. Or overbought, excuse me, I'm sorry. You're approaching overbought territory here in the downtrend, not too far off. 200-day moving average, $1,700. You got as high as 1666 yesterday. So no bearish edge at all on the daily. Nothing's implying that the buyers are exhausted, not yet, which is good. Let's go to the 4 hour. It's the same situation here where it is implied. Like if the TA is respected locally right here, then you'd get a reversal. It is implied based on the oscillators that a reversal is coming. It may not perform well, but it's there. I'm just reporting what exists at this current time on the charts. That's it, man. Here it is. You can't argue with this. This is in textbooks. This has been researched. It is everywhere. The high, the higher high, the lower levels in the oscillators implying a reversal. Reversal hasn't really played out yet, but if this is going to be respected, then you think a little bit more downside to at least maybe test this low. But you could get as low. I mean, think about 1420 being. You realize, just like Bitcoin, there has been no formal back test of 1420 as support. When you broke it, it was broken without any form of confirmation at all. So that means if you get confirmation later, maybe the divergence is what gets us to that point before you maybe hold it, and then you go on another really nice rally to 1730. That's it, man. That's what's going on at this current time. It's been a nice run, nice little weekend run too. You know, Saturday, hey, dude, Doge, my God, right? But everything else pretty normal besides Doge. That's it. Okay, so you never know if it's going to play out, but it's there. There's a discernible bearish edge on a not a so significant time scale. Remember, we talked about the 4 hour showing it, but the daily's not showing it. Okay, what about the weekly? How are we doing on the weekly? Weekly's pretty spectacular. I mean, it's kind of incredible. Like where you have this low, then you have a substantially higher low, and look how you're regarding the 200-week simple moving average, like the Jesus. You had an engulfing candle last week, and then you have very high volume of buying coming in, right, this week. It's the highest level of volume you've seen since Black Saturday, the week of Black Saturday, that will be in history books, at least our history books, right? So, you know, it's very good, a great candle, getting above the old 2018 cycle top. I mean, that's really good stuff. Being above 1420 is almost a miracle, because you were testing that level for 5 weeks and now you finally got the break back above. But so a little bit more work to be done. You know, you think about the way it is, you're close to a breakout, but you haven't yet. 1730 is no joke, no trifling matter at 1730. If you break 1730, $2,000 most likely, very fast. But man, I would say that cautiously optimistic until you fall back below 1420. Bitcoin cautiously optimistic till you fall below 19,891. It's that simple. Not bullish, just cautiously optimistic, because we understand price action correlation above a certain level can take us to the other levels. And those are much higher. But we also know below that level how much lower we could go. But guess what? The sellers tried and failed. For 5 to 6 weeks, they failed. And the buyers have taken back over. The sellers have relented. And not bad. So we'll see the monthly on Ethereum. The monthly will be bullishly engulfing. You're at least close. I know you got 1 day, 1 hour. But again, getting back above that level is wonderful. It's one of the best things that could ever happen to you. You know, as you know, last month, what happened? Just like Bitcoin, it's the worst. You had a confirmed monthly close below the last cycle's top. That's really bad. It was a breakdown technically, but guess what? It's not about the breakdown itself. It's about the follow through. What was the follow through? Literally nothing. There was no follow through. You were engulfing the previous month, taking it out. So I don't think we have the same type of we don't have the same type of look on the RSI as Bitcoin. That's fine, but it's almost like looking at Bitcoin's monthly RSI is almost the same thing as looking at Ethereum's monthly RSI, because whatever Bitcoin does, Ethereum's just going to trail it. It's just going to do what Bitcoin does. So if Bitcoin's RSI on the monthly broke out, it's probably all of crypto's RSI on the monthly is broken out. Okay. Yeah, I mean, to think I'm not a fan of Doge, I'm not a fan of Ethereum, or not a fan of Hex, or not a fan of, this isn't a sport. This isn't like college football where I was born into the environment and, hearts and minds like everyone else. They're just charts. The only thing that would make me have some sort of bias to a chart is if it was a stock and it had incredible balance sheet, incredible revenue. It was a market leader, like Nvidia comes to mind. That was the thesis before all this, right? I mean, my first share of Nvidia was $23, right? Way back in the day, and it's like it played out. Activision too, way back, $18 a share. I mean, okay, you can if it makes sense and the market conditions are okay for it. All right, I got it. When those things change, you got to be able to change too, and use technicals to understand lower highs, lower lows, trend reversals are occurring, and it takes time to do that. Okay, but like for crypto, to be a fan of anything, I guess I'm a fan of Bitcoin. I don't care what the price is of Bitcoin. It could be $10,000. I don't really care. I'm still a fan of it because I know where the world's going. If you just pay attention, you can see how authoritarian governments are being in the East and the West. It doesn't matter. Just about everyone has been infiltrated and hijacked by the World Economic Forum. You're going to eat the bugs. We're going to implement our government. We own all the politicians. Doesn't matter. We own not just the one that you don't want that gets in there. We own the other three that we're going to be in line after. That one. If that one fails, doesn't matter. We got the next one right back in, and you're not even going to vote for them. We're going to do certain things to make sure our people get in charge of these countries. So with all that being said, the mask mandates, the vaccine mandates, right? We know they're not really vaccines because they don't prevent transmission. And a lot of studies show that they do more damage than they do helping people and stuff like that. The fact that Elon, a multi-billionaire, is having to buy a social media platform because he's putting his foot down too on it because he sees it. All these things are why Bitcoin, I am a fan of Bitcoin, because there is no person in between me and the person I want to potentially transact my money with, right? It's just algorithms. It's just a formula, right? Okay, that formula, that decentralized formula, right? The mining and all that. It doesn't have an opinion. It just does what you tell it to, and that's what I'm talking about. So I'll be a fan of that. But to be a fan of Doge, I don't really care about Doge. Doge pumped certainly and only based on Elon. Yesterday it was up over 50% in 3 days. It was up 150%, highest volume you've seen, and probably since November 2021. All right. When you break a 10-cent area, there's not much there till it almost went directly to that spot, 15 cents. Now it's at 11.5 cents. The FOMO, wow, it could be a weekly double bottom. Looks like it did turn out to. But do you understand? This is what Bitcoin looks like. This is what Hex looks like. This is what it's like what Ethereum looks like, but Ethereum actually looks better than this because it's making a substantially higher low. Same with YFI. Right there, it's like, okay, are we looking into the future for Bitcoin and Ethereum and these other cryptos that are showing almost identical looking confirmation lows at key inflection points, I guess, right? I don't know. But Doge certainly front ran it. You can thank Elon Musk for that. Certainly above the 200-week moving average. Monthly close tomorrow. Let's look at that. Is the Doge. Wow. It'll be the highest monthly candle close since April, which isn't really that crazy, but very nice. Very, very nice. Not much of any real resistance on the monthly till maybe like 20 cents. If Bitcoin was to rally, to continue its rally, you know, go to 25K, 28K, you know Doge is going to 20 cents. All right, Doge, BNB killed it. It's been killing it today. BNB, man, up today, up 3%. Man, since it broke that supply line, it's been going. And now you're working on an 886 here, aren't you? Full reset from this high to low. You're a little bit higher. Just a little bit more to go. You haven't even hit the 7.8. You're close to 786, but 327 seems like it would be that 886 where you'd be talking about some sort of W that would take you there. 330, and this is what I'm saying, man, right? Things look so bad. You're in the just dead middle of two major levels, right? 200 and 350, and it's just holding. It looks like a distribution pattern, but it broke upward, right? Because it's just like, you know, TA, all these patterns that we can identify.
I've been on vacation, so I haven't tuned in the last few days. Looks like Pulse Dogecoin could be getting ready for a blasty blast to the moon. Thoughts?
A little late for that. Hasn't it already done that, man? We'll look at it. Thank you. I hope you had a good vacation. Hope you had it going out, and do not miss tomorrow's stream. Tomorrow's stream will be fun, enjoyable, unique, original, and you find me someone who puts more effort into a Halloween stream. Okay, take notes. Okay, so, you know, with BNB, coin flip, when you're in the middle of two ranges, and this is part of it, right? Hey, you hit the dead middle of the range and you pivoted and you're rallying to the upside. Okay, there you go. That's it landed on one side of the coin, not the other. Got it. Let's go the monthly on BNB. Monthly on BNB. I mean, it's going to make the highest monthly candle close since May 2022. It's not bad. Again, like if you're above 216, you're good. If you don't ever fall below 216, you'll never get to $40. But that'd be the target if you broke it. You didn't though. You're fine for now. I mean, Doge or BNB is good, and I don't know where you are. I guess if you're looking at the monthly, there's not much resistance till maybe like 430, but right, you can barely see anything. There's not much of anything that could be noted as a peak or inflection point. Yeah, 430 maybe. Hidden bullish divergence? No, I don't know, man. That's your BNB. Let's look at XRP and start it on the monthly. Then I'm telling you that, right? I mean, a bullish engulfing candle that will be, I mean, this candle is, I love a red candle like this. It's almost like 3-bar play incoming, you know, like, or 1-bar play. Narrow range where you engulf, and then, you know, in the next candle, nothing happens, and it just is indecision, but it means that whoever bought still owns the asset, and it's so easy to engulf that. I mean, and you think about fundamentally, or our technical fundamentals, where, hey man, any asset that's lost 88% of its value, of course, a massive reaction reversal could occur at an 886, because historically, over and over and over again on every single chart in the world, that's where they happen. That's where the major reversals happen. Look, you hit an 886 on the monthly, and you'd been sitting there for 4 months. Kill me, dude. Kill me. 4 months live streaming of nothing. You know, that's pretty much the whole market. 4 months now. It's just. But you held. You've engulfed, and you're just chilling. And I think it's just the M-shape stuff, right? And where you are, I mean, like 51 cents is like it's like a monthly resistance, but above you is 58 cents. And I think like if this is all real, I think we're looking at a 58-cent target, then 66-cent target. It's wonderful, man. This is the area where massive reversals occur, but it doesn't guarantee it. It's just, I'd rather be longing an asset at an 88%, 90% retrace than I would be trying to FOMO into something like this, like an April 2021 candle. Like, how do you even? Yeah, that won't last. It didn't last at all, did it? Wow, it was like a whole FOMO, a month of FOMO in April 2021. Wow. So good stuff there. XRP, and let's go to Cardano. down 3.64%. It is not the same situation here at all. Screw this asset. But something very interesting that cannot be denied. Looking at a monthly chart, oh my God, right? 34.1 cents was a monthly candle high close from April of 2018. And as you can see, market participants have pushed the price down to that level and the bids came in. So what percentage? What are you on? I mean, you were off this from that level. I mean, dang, man, think about Cardano hitting this level and it's up 19% from that low. Wow. The scalpers, they did it, man. But, you know, unless some changes in a day and an hour, it's still an ugly candle and it still will be the lowest monthly candle close since January 2021. So, you know, almost going on 2-year lows, right? So there's silver lining to Cardano's monthly chart. Okay. The weekly, it's all right. Weekly is going to be an engulfing candle, and you're attempting to break above. I mean, you will be in 27 minutes, closing back above the April 2018 high. Nice. Not making any kind of higher high or anything, but something to note, man. You hit an inflection point. You see it. You kind of broke down, but didn't, and now you're engulfing. This one has like the weakest argument because like Bitcoin, the shark, the higher lows for months, right? You know, June of 2018, you hit 17.5 or whatever, and never again did Bitcoin see 17.5. In fact, only hitting an 88% retrace from that 17.5 to the 25K high. So that's the shark completion zone. So you're just sitting there holding and buyers are defending it, and now you're catching some follow through off of that 886. This is not the same situation at all, where it has only made its lowest lows. So again, it's like, hey man, you could buy Cardano. Look, you got the freedom to buy whatever you want. I mean, I'd probably rather own XRP or Bitcoin than I would Cardano. Even if it does something crazy and starts outperforming them, it still like doesn't make sense technically, right? To like, you have the finite amount of money, but you have unlimited options of where to put your money. You'd probably be wanting to put one would want to be putting their money in something that's showing accumulation argument versus, well, dude, it just made its lowest low in almost 2 years. Bitcoin's not doing that. Ethereum's not doing that. BNB is not doing that, right? So, you know, but it is almost like you're attempting to have a failed bearish breakdown of the descending triangle and you're breaking back in, which is always good. That's great. I mean, failed bearish breakdowns have consequences, and it will be very interesting to see in the coming weeks what kind of follow through we will receive off a rejection of the bearish breakdown and a bullish engulfing candle back inside of this. It could take you as high as 48 cents, which doesn't seem like much, but it's a lot. It's a huge percentage amount. So we'll see. And it could all change when Jerome Powell comes out. What CPI report, whatever, GDP, I don't know, something, earnings. Oh my God, there's so many things that could just destroy everything. Okay. So just looking at kind of one that's an anomaly than the others. Cardano. We can go the 4 hour if you want, I guess, right? Like whatever. It's the same thing where if the TA is respected on the 4 hour, Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, ADA, XRP, they all go lower. Short term, like short term, right? That's all. The higher high, the lower levels in the oscillators implying a reversal. But the reversal doesn't mean it's it's over, we're going to zero, because the daily doesn't really back up the 4 hour. But you know, you could reset the oscillators on the daily while the 4 hour pulls back. So I would think same situation. Short term, we could be going a little lower. If Bitcoin went to 19,891 for a formal back test for the first time since breaking it, that would be divine. That'd be amazing. You held it to buyers defended it. That'd be incredible. You want to see that. You always want to see formal, successful, bullish back tests of old levels that were resistance or should have been. They're now supports. That is the dream. That's the spring back test of spring stuff. That's Wyckoff. That's GameStop, life-changing money, right? Okay, Cardano, and then we've already looked at Doge and Sol. Same thing. It's like there's so many assets to own in the world. And the pretty thing is like the real the divergence is there, but the sellers are not following through at all. There is no selling pressure coming in, really. Performing better than everything on the 4 hour. It's only down 0.18% right now. Interesting. But again, you're back above $31. So if you stay above $31 long enough, you could very well go to 37.37. You could. You could also at the same time just be X, A, B, C, D, 886 soon, make another lower high and roll over later. Again, I think there are just so many assets out there that are better. But we know Sol did recently, from the low to the high, hit that 886 area twice, you know, and that's an big old M shape argument. And a decent amount of coins are showing the M shape, just like Bitcoin. Right? The complex wave structure that ends with an 88% retrace from that lowest low, from the beginning of the wave structure. If you're enjoying the live stream, hit the like button, the bell. It's been live 36 minutes. No selling pressure really on Bitcoin. I mean, it's not, you know, it's off. It's 21,000 high, a few $100s. But just like the bearish divergence in the 4 hour, I don't think has played out at all. Like it's not really, if it is, it's underperforming miserably. Okay, so those are really like your bigger cryptos. Let's go to the stock market futures and start with the NASDAQ futures. That it is incredible how you have created this perfect momentum shifting structure at the most pristine level, right? Where it just happens to be a spring back test. The sellers attempted a bearish breakdown for real October 13th. And then you rallied back above the inflection point, and then you successfully back tested that inflection point from history, October 21st, but then again, October 27th. That is buyers defending a very real level, and an inverse head and shoulder neckline will be 11,666. If you break that, it's confirmed. It may not perform very well, but just remember, man, like false bearish breakdowns have consequences, and when the false bearish breakdown, the price rallies back above the level, and then you get a successful bullish back test of the old level that should have become resistance is now support again. That's reconfirming the validity of an old level where you've seen price action. What happened? What happened here, Larry? When you fell below that level in September 2020, then you rallied, you sold off. What'd you do? It was a successful bullish back test, a spring back test in November 2020 before another huge rally occurred. So it's very similar price. And now the momentum, the trend is not your friend at this point. It's still very much bearish. I mean, you're in a bear trend for a long time. I mean, you got to take out the highs from like 14K and stuff, but this is how it could start. Just really, I'm still very skeptical of this market. There are so many black swans. It's a bevy of black swans, right? It's just like there's so many things that could go wrong. We know the composite operator right now, you know, all these negative news events coming out, really bad things like economic data is terrible. You know, especially in Europe and in China, man, my God. But you do have to admire the structural development after a 20+% drawdown. And then even if you plot here, wow, look at that. That's interesting as F. Just plotting from the local high, the first anchor point August 16th and the second anchor point to give us, you know, the trend line criteria September 13th. You tried and you failed to break it October 25th and 26th, but it seems like now you have broken it, re-broken it. So we have some sort of local supply line breakout after a successful spring back test. And certainly some hidden bullish divergence going on. Again, just be cautious. These are really nice things now. Let us see if they're going to catch follow through, if they're real. They might be bullcrap. Again, any sort of bad news that drives these markets could ruin all this, man. Just understand we're in a bear market. What's up, Rory? You've been watching 2 years exactly. Let's go, dude. Happy anniversary. How do you know exactly? Does it say somewhere? Something? Okay, you know, and then we just look at all the futures kind of back to back, and you can see that a supply line here was breached. There was a spring back test, not from the one from 2020, but June 2022, that low. You sprung above it, you back tested the spring, catching some follow through here. So, you know, I mean, it could be a dragon. Could be a drag, and my issue is the 4-hour bearish divergence is so real. It's in its development. Look, the high, the higher high, the higher high, even another higher high, and you could be setting up for quadruple bearish divergence in the 4 hours. So doesn't quite look as good as the NASDAQ futures, but Jones is the best because of energy. Wow, look at this, chat. Oh my God. Energy making the Dow Jones party. Where are we, chat? The supply line. You are at it, if not slightly above it. Soon approaching inflection points from, 2021. Very real. It's incredible. You're talking about an 886 probably coming. The high to low. 886 takes you to 33.6. But that's the next level. You will be approaching a very key level after what a good run we've been on. Wow. There's nothing like it, So you got to wonder what's going to happen at the supply line. Will there be a lot of supply? Will we reverse? Or is it just this massive one bottom, two bottom on the weekly? Look at this on the weekly on these futures. It's kind of insane. We were looking at this on Friday, just not the futures, but the index funds, where you've got bullish divergence on the weekly, on the low, the slightly lower low. You're back above the 200 week moving average. This could be setting up for a much more major wave. So a global 786, 886, or more like major 886 for the high to the low, and it's like a complex wave. Like you got like 36K. Just imagine, if energy continues to do its thing, you got something like this in development. And I couldn't even believe how insane this would be if you actually did this. Right? Could you imagine this is how it all ends? And you have so much further to go, and it may never happen. It did not happen in 08. I think you're really, really bearish until you can break 33.7 on this one. Was the monthly going to close? Wow, dude. I mean, you see this, right? The incredible, massive, might be the biggest bullish engulfing candle in Dow Jones. I think it is. It certainly is. The largest, by price, largest monthly candle close ever, confirmed in 21 hours and 15 minutes. And massive engulfing candle. Haven't seen an engulfing candle like this since November 2020. So again, if you think about that wave structure takes you an 886, I mean, wouldn't a candle like this maybe be what does it? Yeah, that's a pretty good candle, man. That's insane. Well, what a recovery, and you can only thank energy for that. Energy is the only thing that is saving these markets. Every other sector getting wrecked. But I know a lot of inflows to tech last week. It was pretty insane. Russ 2000 start on the monthly. You're working on a bullish engulfing. Look at that. Buyers defending key levels, not once, but twice. My God, look at that shooting star reversal. Holy crap, that's so bad. But you caught follow through too. It was valid. You were breaking down. Everything was bad. And then a bamboozle candle this month. So everything, you are not bearishly broken down. Buyers are defending all these key levels on the index funds. They're doing that. It's happening. Bitcoin, same thing. Buyers are defending the key levels. Ethereum, buyers have defended key levels. Doge, not really. XRP, buyers defended key levels for 5 weeks. Well, you were below the key level for 5 weeks, then you finally broke it resoundingly. So you got some interesting stuff happening this month for sure. When it's like, oh, it's all over for, us, and then nope, just kidding. You might be safe again. Cautious optimism, hopium, could be making a comeback here. It's the hopium. It's the supply line broken, right? And it's all these cool things, but going to the 4 hour, you can see like, hey man, you broke a supply line, you're rallying, you didn't back test it. You didn't back test 1744 either. You're not making higher highs than previous highs yet. So it's, still suspect, but one low, the second low is nice. Okay, so that's kind of it. Let's look at these requests. I forgot to look at total, didn't I? Sorry.
I like turtles.
Well, totals still above 959 billion. The key of key inflection points, monitoring for months, right? You're above it. I know for a fact. Before I was going to be showing the same bearish divergence. There it is, Larry. There is that bearish divergence. Implying a reversal. The reversal has not occurred yet. The price action has not played out from this new developed edge on not such a crazy significant time scale, but it can be very reliable from time to time. It's just there. The daily is not showing this, only the 4 hour. So you just got to think, if it's just the 4 hour, it may not play out as insanely as if it showed 4 hour bearish divergence on top of daily bearish divergence, right? Or weekly for that matter. In fact, the weekly, we're getting bullish divergence, aren't we? So, yeah, man, you get this plays out, you back test 959 because you haven't really. You have not broke it, you have not back tested it. When you want to see what was once resistance, then becomes formal support, that would be amazing. That would be the dream, right? That's what you want. Hasn't happened yet. Okay, just a little bit more downside. Okay. I don't know, man. Oh yeah. So what we were just gonna do is like look at, just Friday I was doing a rundown. We can continue to scan a little bit and look at some of these assets that are showing these interesting developments. Like you got BAT, basic attention token. You can go like the 8 hour or something. You can see like BAT, made far more than 886. I mean, in fact, made a 99, if not 100% retrace. But it's reacted and reversed and it's gotten back above 29 cents and above 29 cents. Look where you can go. You can go to 44 cents, 44 cents. It could happen again. Supply line was broken, inside this, certainly a range at this point, right? Is it not some sort of range between 29 cents and 47 cents? And you just got something like this. You've already jumped across the creek in ways like other altcoins. But 200 moving average, hard to trust it. But for now, it's just an area to monitor. 29 cents, if you can hold it, maybe some things could come from this. Another one that did look at, it's incredible. Like I'm extremely impressed with this one. I don't know. Look at this. Look at this on Bitcoin Cash, chat. It maybe is going to fail and go to zero and it's going to $75 because the market's going to collapse, and I get it, man. But man, we've been selling off for a year, man. An entire year of nothing but pain and despair, death. But now you got Bitcoin Cash that's lost what? Globally lost about 95% of its value. The December 2018 low of $75. That's like 95%. But look what you're doing. Buyers are defending this January 2019 low of 108. And just so happens to be at that 108 level from history, you are completing a textbook bullish bat pattern. You got down sloping price action converging, falling wedge, and you just achieved, as of yesterday, notice this, you achieved the top of the supply line. You're testing it, holding it, maybe tweezer topping, but daily, no bearish divergence. I bet the 4 hour probably has some, so it pulls back. But if you stay above 107.70, this is incredible. Like, this is unbelievable. It's something you got to be paying attention to these markets now. Like, if you've not been paying attention all year, time to start paying attention. Because we never, like, I remember, like, in late 2020 or September and August of 2020, things were very fearful. People were scared. These harmonics were developing. No one knew. Everyone thought we were going lower, and we probably still are going lower. I get it, man. Times are bad, but you can't ignore the harmonic that is completed. It's sitting here, and it's lost all its value, man. It's not at these high risk levels. It's certainly at lower risk levels now, The context is brilliant for a harmonic to develop here. Okay, so pay attention to that, I guess, right? And you got like, stuff like this developing on other assets. How about like, you remember storage, dude? Storage. It's similar, and yeah, it could fail. It certainly fails, and it's like, go figure. It's a loser. Doesn't do anything. It's storage, man. Online storage, and has no balance sheet. Doesn't make any money. I get it. So it's gonna go to 28 cents and go to 12 cents, and no one's gonna care. But this harmonic developed here. It's perfect. Look at all the divergence at the pattern completion zone, at the key inflection point. Supply line, you broke it. It's just kind of like, if we never know where an asset's going to go. We can only look for variables to line up at the same time to give us a discernible edge greater than 50%, and it may just only be a 60% edge, where that's okay. You're not everything's going to play out. A lot won't play out, actually, but that's why a 3-to-1 reward to risk is good, because you only have to win 33% of your trades. But doesn't this make sense for like why maybe it's not a stupid, like, I get it. Look, didn't it from its lowest low to its highest high like make a 90% retrace, or an 886 at least? Isn't that where you're exactly where you're looking for these developments? The low to the high. It's crazy, man. It exceeded the 886 because it was such a stupid run, right? I mean, it made a 90% retrace, 91% retrace, but it's holding key levels. Everything you're looking for is okay. So the context of where this is pretty good. Pretty good, but it hasn't played out yet. Not at all. The judge is still out. The jury's still out on this. This is just universal stuff, right? Universal teachings, where you could apply this on Google, on Microsoft, on Amazon, on Tilray, on gold, anything, man. We're doing it on an S coin. So if it fails, it fails. My God, man, a failure of a harmonic at a level like this, that's insane, man. That's so bad, but dang, dude. They're here. They haven't failed, and they haven't played out yet. So you're kind of, if you're watching the stream, you're kind of at this really sweet spot where it's like, we got a chance here. There's a chance of a potential reversal on the crypto altcoin markets. Heck, man, even the stock market. The index funds are showing insane price action the past month. With stuff like Theta. Theta, that like, hey, like the sellers tried so much, my God. And sellers could not push the price below 98 cents. The buyers were too many buyers. So it rallied, and this is not one that's particularly amazing. Like some other ones are pretty insane, but you held support. But then you got the ones like Uniswap that are like, oh my God, man, like you're breaking this downsloping channel you've been in for since August, man. August of 2021. You're out of it. You can see the momentum shifting structure, the neckline of the potential inverse head and shoulders, 698 happens to be an inflection point from history, a candle high close from September 2020 and a wick low from January 2021. Breaking that takes you to 867 fast.
Hey Mitch, I seen that in 1929, 1980, 2008 the Phillies won the World Series those years. The 2022 series is tied 1-1 with the Phils and the Astros. Beware Bulls. Cheers.
So if the Astros win, which they won last night, right? If they win, that means bear market canceled? Is that how this works, man? Yeah, I don't know about that, man. And does that mean that the composite operator has a fix in, and you know that the Phillies are going to win? All right, all in. Bet the farm on the Phillies, I guess, right? Or something. Or not, maybe, because everything technically is looking kind of interesting. Well, these engulfing candles on the monthly can be confirmed in a day. Less than a day now. You never know, man. Yeah, it is interesting. Thank you, Pry, for the 20. Yeah, much love. But, just things like this where it's kind of interesting. The bottom got put in June. Think about Bitcoin makes an 886, but guess what? Uniswap doesn't. Uniswap only makes it doesn't even make a 78% retrace. So you can talk about performance from the Black Saturday low to the high. This one's outperforming Bitcoin. Tron is outperforming Bitcoin. YFI outperforming Bitcoin. Where's Tron? It's now this one's tricky because this one's at a major level here where if it can't break it, it's screwed. It is this one's it's interesting, but it's not. Can't break. You're working on a bearish engulfing candle and you're failing to break the neckline again. If it can hold and keep making higher lows and breaks 6.4 cents, okay, but you're at a very, very critical area on this. This is one to pay attention to. Tron. I have an alert set up because if I hear the alert on Tron, I know a breakout could be occurring. It is in the midst of occurring, but no beep. I haven't heard a beep yet. So, and the problem with this is the daily. Oh man, unless something changes really, really soon, you could be in a lot of trouble because Tron, unlike many other assets out there, it's showing daily bearish divergence. Nothing else is really. Not many other things are. Yikes. Come on, dude. Don't do this to me. Because if this fails, and that was resistance, and the buyers relent, we're talking like we could be going down way, way lower. So you better be careful here. It's cool to identify something, but if it fails, it's certainly failing right now. It has not played out. It is not successful in a reversal. So you think about what happens, right? It fails. All of a sudden, you've got this going on, don't you? Think you do, man. And of course, a full reset.
Love your big pick analysis about the market. I think it won't be a bad idea to start coming in slowly. If it crash, I'm not good longing or shorting anyways, low.
Well, the issue with shorting, man, the market's become so illiquid that you get moves like you got on Friday. You know, it's like, but you know, again, you wait for the bear market rallies to hit some sort of breaking point, like Apple hitting a supply line at 886. I mean, great area to offload your position or short. But yeah, I mean, you're hitting supports and you kind of broke them, but you caught no follow through. So like you're trying to short at a support with an illiquid market. The squeezes could rip your face off so fast. So it's like, yeah, there are good strategic times to be going short, but it already happened, right? Remember, the S&P 500 in 2 months lost 20% of its value. When you lose 20% of your value and then you hit an inflection point for the second time, it starts becoming, it's a limited downside situation. Sure, you could break it and collapse. That's capitulation right there. But if you pivot and you hold, that's all of a sudden a confirmation low and a liquid market condition. So the face melting rallies occur, squeeze the shorts. The shorts have to cover that exacerbates or accelerates that short squeeze, and the bear market rally occurs, and then retail starts aping in, FOMOing back in. That's buyer induction, and then eventually after an 886 lower high, that's when finally the massive reversal, close and reverse candle happens. So, yeah, shorting can very well be tricky in these market conditions because guess what? You've already been selling off for a year, dude. It's already happened. The selling's been incessant. If you haven't noticed, we've had some bear market rallies, but mainly only down. But now all this time's gone by, all this value's been lost. So it's just like the short selling is just not.
Can you check out?
It's higher risk now than it was. What's up, 769 mountains? Thank you, dude. Due to inflation. Yeah, Adam on the weekly. We'll do it. Much love, dude. Thank you. Dang, it's already nighttime. Oh yeah, let's look at these requests. Okay, knock them out real quick, man. All right. Oh wait, I'm just kidding, because we have a new week. A new weekly candle has just started. We've done it, man. But man, the weekly, let's go back to Bitcoin real quick. Holy crap, dude, we're back above key levels. We did it. All right, amen. There it is, Larry. There it is. Confirmed the weekly candle back above the most important level you could dream of at this current time. And it looks like Doge before Doge went insane, doesn't it? You got one potential bottom. You got two potential bottoms. Okay. Now, if this week you go and back test 19891, you can't be that scared. You just broke it with no confirmation. So let's confirm this level of support. It would always be the best if we got that back test. Scare everybody. Oh, I'm so freaked out. What's going on? I guess we're screwed again. But then it pivots off of that 19891 and then you rally. But again, as the best laid plans of mice and men often go awry, you may never get it. I understand, but dang, man, it'd be awesome. It would be icing if we could get it on the cake. So this was a significant week that needed to happen if you wanted more upside. You look at this, or you look at it on the weekly. How would you look at this? And then you go to Doge. That it's very similar in nature to the structural development on the weekly. Doge, Bitcoin, some other altcoins. Some look substantially better than Doge and Bitcoin. They do. All right. Excuse me. Like Ethereum, it looks substantially better than Doge and Bitcoin because the low is so much higher than the previous low, and it held the 200-week moving average. Bitcoin's currently below its 200-week moving average. And you are officially back for, not last week, okay? Last week you closed at that level. Guess what? This week, for the first time, you're back above the 200-week moving average since September. This is great, man. Great news. Rejoice that cautious optimism can return because sellers have tried and tried and tried and failed miserably. They were doing a good job, man. They were like, hey, man, we got this. Bearish golden candle. Back below the key inflection point, but not anymore. You have failed, bears. The bears relented this week. And now you're back above in very important levels. Okay. Now let's look at these requests. Let's see here. Let me check my notes. Let me check my notes, man. Pulse Doge Malone's chain coin. Oh, nice, dude. Well, it did pull back, did it not? Wow. It certainly did, Larry. Right at a 100% retrace, too. There's a golden candle caught fall through, but yeah, I don't think there's much of an edge yet. But it is great news that you're holding above 635, the high from June.
Thought you were on early.
Very nice.
Then just realized our clocks have moved an hour backwards.
Have they?
Daily close now midnight and not 1 a.m. Early nights to bed again.
Did that happen? Did our clocks change? I thought they got rid of it. I thought there was a new law or something that we're done with it. Not till November. This must be like not in America or something, right? Only in the EU. Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, yeah, I think this is the good time for Europeans, right? And Australians too. Yeah. It's like when we switch it, I remember Julia has problem. It's tougher for Julia to see the stream, but now it might be easier. Yeah. November 6th for us. Gotcha. So next week. Okay. Yeah, so Pulse Doge chain above a key level, kind of went on its good run. I don't think there's enough of a discernible edge to be like a continuation long. I don't know though. I mean, like, that's not hidden bullish divergence though. It just depends where you anchor. If you anchor from this low, maybe. Yeah, something like this. I don't know, man. If you just want to keep DCAing on pullbacks like that, sure. It's certainly, the 886 is the dream. Always the 886, man. If you want to take a long, it's always the most prudent, lower risk to take longs at 886s, which is exactly where so many things are. XRP on the monthly, hit an 886. It just engulfed, or it's about to engulf bullishly in less than a day. Okay, those are way better areas than taking longs here. Like you had, I mean, we had identified an 886. You don't know, it broke the supply line. I mean, it was interesting. It was like, let's see. But it ran, and now it's pulling back, and it's not much of a pullback. It still seems fine. It's a very real uptrend, a long-term uptrend. You're paying maybe still a little bit of premium on the asset because it's not at a value area, right? But yeah, being above that 200 there, being above 635, good deal. Good deal there. It was resistance. Maybe now it's a support. It would be a support maybe for one of the first times ever, We're gonna know. So keep it up, man. There's your Pulse Doge Malone chain coin. Nice. It does moon, we got much higher targets, the 1272. if when it
Later,
does pivot.
sir.
Talking about 1133.
M in historic data, please. 28 to 37 level, good. Sloping resistance. Target 125. Hope IRL isn't too much headache.
Oh,
Peace.
man. Dude, it's been terrible. Just to be like candid.
Hey Mitch, can you take a look at Atom?
Yeah, Rock. Someone requested Atom already, but we will look at Atom. Yes. G-Dog, thank you for the LEU or the 15. We'll look at LEU. DWM. DWM. Thanks, man. Yeah, dude. It's like, God, looking at these charts and the Halloween stream has been the only thing. Cautionable. Take them out. Thinking all. I'm, you know. Anytime I'm not thinking about things, I'm thinking about the IRL terrible situation I've been put in, and it was nothing. And there was nothing I could have done that would have ever changed what happened. Nothing. Like everything, these things just happened to me. I can't help it. And then those bad things that I couldn't help, that I had nothing to do with, it was the building, created new problems. And I have to live with these problems. But the good news is I'm going to get they're going to have to redo my entire floor downstairs. It's a massive property too, like, you know, for a penthouse, and it's going to take like months. I'm going to have to like move temporarily while it gets done. So many bad things, man. It rains, it pours. But what are you going to do? Persevere? Sounds like a good idea. Okay, next request was it Atom? It was Atom, man.
Hey brother, could we check DraftKings, starting from the weekly zooming into the 4 hours?
We can. Thank you, J-Tox, for the gold mean ratio contribution. Thanks, dude. Look. Atom. Yeah, Atom, man. That divergence really was the Jesus, wasn't it? I mean, you engulfed bullishly yesterday when the rest of the market was having a bad time. This one said, I don't care. I'm still bullish. I mean, the target from here, I think, is 1470 again. 1470. If you break that, 1661. If you break 1661, mother of God, look out. Look out. $26 maybe. Such thin order book between 1660 and 2650. That is why the third target of the trade setup from like $8 was 1660. Hey man, double your money on that. Took forever, but finally got there, reversed, and now I'm thinking the trend is still your friend, is for now. Like you're attempting a rally here, so I think like 1470, then 1660. Let's look at the weekly. That was the request. Super strong, man. Super strong. Like if that's a swing low, holy crap, it's better than Ethereum, it's better than YFI, it's better than anything making higher lows. Holy crap. On the weekly, you're looking at a $17 target from here. If it's actually pivoting right now, you're looking at a $17 target, the peak from May of 2021 and the peak from earlier September of this year. Once that breaks though, it's pandemonium, bullish pandemonium. And that's it for now. It could all change with Bitcoin dumping, but it's a super strong asset. But you see the inflection points. Are you at 850? Are you at 726? No. Are you at 1711? No. You're just in the middle of two massive levels. That's where you are on Atom weekly. Okay. There you go, 769 mountains. As well as Rock DD. Thank you, dudes. LEU? Are we talking about LEU on the New York Stock Exchange? I would believe. No memory of this place. That's okay. I'm just, here. What are we looking at here? Resistance. That's certainly a resistance. Look, your high from October 2021. Look at your highs from December 2021, January 2022. Certainly a reversal, March 2022, and just recently a big reversal in September. So you can understand where the mega levels are, right? Like this, the undeniable inflection points, straight up and down, up, you know, like that's where you are on this one. What did you say though? DWM historic data, please. 28 to $37. Good. Living resistance, target 125. 125. What? 125? This can't be the same chart, right? G-Dog? Am I on the right chart? Centris Energy? 125 seems extremely moonboyish, right? One at a time. I'm gonna wait for you to say something. Feeler. Eric, the love is mutual.
Zoom out, bruh, DWM.
Zoom out. Oh my God, you're right. You gotta break 53. You break 53, straight up 75. You break 75. Probably like 112. Yeah, I'd say 112 after that. Then 128 after that. So the trend is certainly your friend. God, it's great, man. Wow, talk about an uptrend. This one is energy, man. Wow. Solid. Very, very good here. Yeah, this is one that's like, hey, it's been terrible, it's been dead, and now the animal spirits are back. Since COVID crash, look, animal spirits, you're here. So yeah, where you are, $74 on the weekly. That's the target on the weekly from where you are right now. It would have been nice to get a formal back test at $29.89. Could still get it, but if you're above $30 long enough, the target always is going to be $75. If you ever break $75 or $74, and I'm just thinking 106 on the weekly, just the candle high close right there and all the reactions, reversals there in 2013. And then, yeah, we'll give you a 125 after that. So it's very pretty. It was very nice. I mean, this is incredible how you're so much accumulation. And now it's running. The sellers are relenting and buyers taking back over, and thin order book. Could take months, but again, if you're holding this and it looks like this, you think in time a target would be $74 again. That's it. Okay. LEU, yeah, man. And energy, though, the only sector of the 11 that is bullish. Every 10 of the 11 are crap. Could be starting some short-term reversal stuff based on what we looked at on the index funds. But I'm saying up until last week's craziness, terrible. 10 of 11, so bearish. Then only 1 of the 11 good. And this happens to be in the energy sector, which is number go up. Am I getting tagged in this stuff? Okay, that's it. That's your LEU, and then DraftKings.
Late to the stream tonight. Did you already cover ZW? Nice Russian manipulation tonight.
Oh, wheat futures, Anon? No, we haven't. We'll look at it. We've been too busy. Hey, man. DraftKings, here we are. 100% retrace, by the way, too. Matthew, you're a little
Dollar
shy.
Matic, please. Thanks, sending rest of tip now.
Gotcha. I didn't even read. Thank you, dude. Welcome to the Center for Kids Who Can't Read Good, but can maybe do charts okay. Thank you. DraftKings on the weekly. I mean, last week, maybe that was a morning star of sorts, inverted hammer, and now you're catching follow through off of it. I mean, again, you would think, right, on an asset that's lost 100% of its value from its high to low, and then it's rallied and selling off, and it's still making higher lows than that lowest low. You just gotta wonder, this could be great on DraftKings eventually. It's way better than trying to long here. I mean, that head and shoulders, look how beautifully it played out. God, it like probably hit the measured move so bad. Daily here. Oh, God, it looks like PayPal, all these others, man. But now it's like you're starting to work on like something like, you think maybe something like this where it's an M shape. Oh my God, it's a 786, isn't it? It's like a Gartley there. What if we, I mean, it's about the exact same. You got like a bullish Gartley going on DraftKings here. It's like a Gartley, man. Look at all that divergence you were receiving on the daily. That's insane, man. Okay, so we got triple bullish divergence at the 786. It's there, but hey, be careful. Earnings this week coming up. The 4th. What is that? Friday? You be really careful. You never know, but you're identifying an asset that lost 100% of its value, a complex wave structure M shape, and now after the M shape completed, the big one, you now have another M shape, and you are making higher lows for now. It's interesting. It's very interesting. JTOGs, right? At least the weekly. Oh, thank you, Matthew, man. Bonus contribution. Much love. Yeah, well, certainly looking at Matic, man. Matic that was so poised, so close to a breakout. I don't think it has yet. I have an alert there. But dang it, that one's like on breakout watch. It's been trying and trying. It can't do it, but... So make that of what you will. An 886, we've seen those hit all the time. The 886 would be the absolute most incredible long entry. If you were blessed enough to get it, oh my God. Yeah, no, man, it makes you, and it's always like 99 cents. Like, what's up with that? Like, who came up with that idea? Well, we're going to make it where if someone wants to contribute to the streamer, they can only do it $1.99, $99, $3.99, $15.99, $99. Now, why would they do it? Doesn't make sense. It's like someone got put in a position that shouldn't have been there, which is like everything these days. Everything in Hollywood and media and making movies and TV shows. People are getting jobs that don't deserve them, that shouldn't be there based on merit and track record as writers, producers, showrunners, directors, right? They shouldn't be there. They don't deserve it, but they get there anyway. That's what we're dealing with. It's like the age of abundance is over, but they didn't tell you the age of creative art is over too. What we're talking about baptized in meritocracy. It's over, dude. If it goes to the 886, the dream. Oh my God, right? But you're at a point where, hey man, it's 786 with all the divergence, but you got earnings coming up, the earnings report. Think about if you just like gap down, right? Like it's pretty bad. It's awful, dude. It's down 10%. It doesn't matter to you because you know where we're at. I mean, the sell-off, I think just you're so limited on downside now because guess what? It's over. The people that owned this crap, I think the Portnoy boys, I mean, they're homeless now. They can't even afford internet to trade anymore, right? So you're just so limited on so many things because the downtrend has been going on for so long. But just pay attention to a Gartley, and it's a 786. But if it goes to an 886 because earnings is bad or it's good and doesn't matter and it's just to scare everyone, just know your levels, know where you're at. You're pretty good here, okay? Eventually, it's either here or the next node. All right. Let's look at wheat futures. The Russians manipulating, it seems. Oh yeah, okay, we're gapping. That gap's gonna fill. You know that, dude. I wouldn't even care. Don't even care, man. The gap will fill. It's not really that big a deal. Yeah, but this is it, man. We did it. We friggin' did it, man. As long as you make a higher low than the previous low, you'll be all right in the end. This is Rudy poo. Gaps like that, man, they always fill, okay? They always fill. So this one could fill by today. Wouldn't be surprised. The 886 Gartley. It's the Bartley. Matic for Matthew. Hey man, this is gonna be a quick stream, man. I got a lot of work to do for the Halloween stream. I got the harder, scary parts out, but dude, much work to be done. Okay, so Matic that like broke out of that kind of wedge structure. My issue is it's really struggling on the daily, and look, you can see what's happening maybe now. You better like it'll be okay if Bitcoin runs, but the problem is 4-hour bearish divergence for the macro total showing it. But the problem is Matic is not just showing it probably on the 4-hour, it's also kind of showing it on the daily, where you make a high on price, you make a higher high on price and a lower level on the histogram, and it just so happens to be a perfect successful bearish backtest of what the level. Look at this high from April 2021, a low from June 2021.
Sorry, last $1 link.
Yeah, Matthew, we'll do that. We'll look at link. Thank you, man. Kings. But to you, Matthew, this is what I'm saying. I mean, you're trying to break out, but traders are not settling up above that level. It's so real of a level. I mean, in actuality, you just look at this possibly like a freaking, you know, like it's just range bound asset. It's in a big rectangle between 72 cents and $1, really. But that's, to me, I'm, you know, just part of my method. I love historical levels. And I think things, yes, locally, it can turn into a new local range, but I think that's really important. And you're not breaking it yet, but you could. But if you're daily bearish divergence and 4-hour, oh yeah, definitely 4-hour bearish divergence. Look at that. It's so bad. The divergence is so bad. You can't even, there's not even positive momentum on the second high on the MACD histogram. It's certainly on the RSI, like, right? One high, then the same high, slightly higher high, whatever, both class B bearish divergence. It's like so real. The divergence is there, right? You make a high, you fail, you make a high again, you fail. It's not really what you're looking for. You don't want to fail twice at a key level like that, do you? You don't, but it's not over yet, right? It's still above 89 cents. It's in the zone, man. So that's where we are. You're on breakout watch. You've been on breakout watch, but you failed in September. You failed now. You failed in July. You failed in August. But the good news is every time you failed, the buyers relented, sellers took over. The sellers have, on their side, been unable to take this thing lower than 69 cents, which is incredible. Because you think about Bitcoin hit an 88% retrace from its Black Saturday lows. Well, guess what Matic did? Matic only hit a 50% retrace from its Black Saturday lows. So the sheer outperformance of this asset compared to Bitcoin is very evident. Very, very evident. If this was Bitcoin, this is what it would have done. And then, you know, for fun, just for the memes. That's what Bitcoin did. And now Bitcoin's doing this. Bitcoin's finally like right here. That's where Bitcoin is. Okay, you see the difference in performance? Same, you know, same market, different assets on the same market. Bitcoin is the macro. This is outperforming the macro substantially. So you just got to think about that. What if Bitcoin rallies here? If Bitcoin, like, you know, maybe the bearish divergence in the 4-hour plays out for real, we back test 19.891. Okay, this thing sells off, but still makes a higher low than the previous lows from September. Bitcoin pivots and rallies again. My God, this thing will break 94 cents and eventually go to 120. It just hasn't happened yet. And it may not happen for a few days because we know there is exhaustion that is very real on for the buyers right now. Sorry, so that's it, man. Go to Chainlink. Right? Yeah, Link. That's it, dude. Chainlink was one that wasn't at a really good inflection point, but it was holding. Okay. Yeah, like, see, it's still making higher lows here. It kind of reminds me of XLM. It's like this big old rectangle. It could be the composite operator. It could be an accumulation structure. Here's some amazing news that happened over the weekend. This wasn't the case on Friday when I was live, but now it is the case. You're back above 763. I think that's so important. So incredibly important being above this level. It's a wick low. It's a candle low close from 2021. Being above that level, man, I think so. There's no reason this asset can't get to 872 to the top of the rectangle at 958. That was, I mean, like, you know, you got your local range easy, but then you have to also pay attention to stuff from history. You're above that. You're also testing the 200-day simple moving average for the first time since January. That's a big development. It's not like insane, but it's real and it's to be talked about and discussed. Aave, okay, we'll look at Lind as well. So, gotta wonder here. It's not at the lowest risk areas ever, which would always be like 530 if we're talking about a trading range, but you could be working on an accumulation confirmation argument. We got one low and a second low coming off the lowest low. So look, it's like the sellers tried and they tried again and they failed. We know this. We know this structure, don't we? Remember Ethereum? Anyone remember Ethereum? Remember this, okay? And then we go to the Ethereum chart back after Saturday, Black Saturday. We go down here, and it's right here. This was identified way back when this was all real-time data, the most recent data we had. Remember the confirmation of accumulation? That's kind of what Chainlink's working on right now. Do you get that? See it here. And you go back to Chainlink. And in ways, it's close to the same picture. Sellers tried once, not enough. Too many buyers, too much demand. Okay, the sellers relented, you rallied, not enough demand to push it any higher than 850. So the buyers relented, the sellers took over. But when the sellers took over again, for the second time, they have shown us there's not enough of them. There's too much demand and the asset's now rallying and getting back above the key inflection point. That's what's so important about it now, because it's like, first time knowing, a second time, kind of like everyone knows now. Okay, falling wedge on Link. Don't know how this is a falling wedge, man. What? Falling wedge? It's a rectangle, bro. It could be a Wyckoff accumulation range. And it's all happening at somewhat decent levels. Again, like the selling, we just went through it. Isn't that amazing? Like, if you've been through in this community this whole year, we did it, man. Whew, thank God. We got through probably the worst of it for altcoins because we know where they are now. Right? Like major 886s. Look, you understand from the global 886 low, global meaning like the lowest low you could imagine on this chart, which is 2018, you know how bad that was, to the all-time effing high, the global 886. It's like, you look at the price action here. You're falling below it, but you're holding it. But then look, there's no formal support looking left. It's nothing. It is reacting to the 886. The bots are. You're confirming accumulation at the 88% retrace, which happens to ironically be $6.18, the golden mean number, right? The golden mean ratio is the 618, or it's the reciprocal of the 1618. It's just the golden ratio. But that just ironically happens to be Chainlink's 886. Interesting. So, right? I mean, these are just things. You're at the levels where if a reaction reversal occurred, face melting rally occurred, it a lot of times, based on history of all markets, they normally will eventually occur at 886s, even if they're there for months, right? So who cares about a falling wedge, man? We're talking about this. This is important stuff, dude. All right. Okay. Is that any satisfaction from that request, or you can be there? It doesn't. It's fine. Linda had this really kind of cute. I was being cute, man. All right. Don't judge. I had this like cute, crazy, weird looking equidistant channel just for fun. And we finally broke out of it. You know, you broke out eventually in August. It was so cool to see the back test. It was perfect. But now you're out and you're not making lower lows anymore, right? Like many altcoins, they bottomed out Black Saturday and now we're getting these higher lows. And it's not quite a Gartley. It would be more like a premature bat, just eyeballing it. Like all you gotta do is Fibonacci, use your Fibonacci tool. You do this and it's like a 50%. And it never even hit a 786. So it's not even a completed anything. It's not even at the deep value received areas yet. I'd have been most satisfied with a 59.30 back test, but you couldn't get there yet and you still could. So looking at this, it made a lower high. The downtrend is still intact, right? You made the lower high August 12th. It was an M shape. It was a bearish bat pattern that performed wonderfully. Not like amazingly, but wonderfully. And it did reverse on the, look at that beautiful little hammer right there. But again, no higher highs. So the downtrend's still intact. Just because you're making a higher low, in the context before it was only lower lows, lower highs forever for a year, it's still in a downtrend, right? Just because you make a higher low, that's not good enough. You have to not just make a higher low, you then must make higher highs. And it's kind of like more than twice. Like that's what a trend reversal is. So this isn't reversed its trend at all. But same time, it's below the 200-day moving average. But hey, man, you know, the best thing to do on Lind would to wait. And if you don't get it, fine, move on with the rest of your life. You either got a bat or a shark. It doesn't matter because they have the same pattern completion zone. An 886 here would be the most prudent entry for a long at $55. That's it. But you don't have that yet. If you're going to follow rules here, you're going to follow the rules. I think you'd want to wait for an 886. And you didn't even hit a 786, technically. You were so close, but you didn't. So, and it rallied off of it, so you would want to wait. And if it continues up, whatever. Forget about it. Don't be chasing when you've missed something that didn't even happen. It's not like you missed the pattern completion zone. It never even hit the pattern completion zone. Jay Powell speaks on Wednesday. Maybe. All right, so we just got through all the requests. Bitcoin on the new week, not really doing that great, but understandable why. The 4-hour bearish divergence is extremely evident. But that's it. No other time scale showing that. Buyer exhaustion. Only Bitcoin. So again, if we get a formal backtest of 19891, that might be the dream. It could be the literal dream. You're just hoping maybe the 4-hour bearish divergence could get us there. Right? Bearish divergence. Let me start the other chart. Got it. Here it is, right? One high. So second high. Exhaustion. Lower levels. So 19891 would be the best. If we can get it, it'd be wonderful. We'll see what happens, all right? So I'm going to get back to work on my Halloween stream. Please don't miss it. You know, if you're going to watch any stream of the year, probably want to watch the Halloween streams. You know, pump streams, dump streams, but Halloween stream. If you really want to support what I do and you appreciate me, just tune in, man. Just be one of the concurrent viewers, right? I think you'll enjoy it and have a good time. We'll have a good time together. Better than Vegas stream? I don't know about that, man. That's kind of, how do you beat that? It's not even, they're not even in the same category. That's like, what's better, Bitcoin or Ethereum? They're different, man. They're not even supposed to be the same thing. Like, you know. Okay, so thanks for the likes, love, support, contributions, everything in between. Watch out for that 4-hour bearish divergence. Let's see how far it takes us down. I'll be back. Until next time, respect. The T. Hey.
My name is JP. I'm a robot. I like robots. I have a robot vagina.
Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei!
I have some evidence Manbear Pig could be in this area.
I don't know, sir.
And then, just like that,
Adios, turd nuggets.